Hello guys, this is Doran's Movies, and welcome to the 12th episode of the Races of Azeroth series. In this one, I'll be talking about the Dragonkin. They are currently one of the most confusing races due to retcons and speculations and all the different subspecies that they have, but I will try to do my best to just narrow everything down in this video. So, without further ado, let's just get into the lore. Long ago, when the Proto-Dregs defeated the giant dragon Galakrond, they drew the attention of the Titans, who saw them as potential protectors of Azeroth, and by providing them with titanic power, the 5 original dragonflights were created with one task: to watch over the world. For years they have observed and noted the potential of younger, intelligent races, and on occasions they gave them the privilege to serve them. Serving a dragonflight has its ups and downs because it requires a lifelong dedication and a willingness to die for the dragonflight at any moment, while in return they get a great deal of knowledge and power, all depending on the dragonflight. So, for example, someone serving the black dragons would get an insight into dark magic, while someone serving the bronze dragons would receive a valuable artifact or knowledge of time travel. These servants go under many names, but usually the name unifying all of them is Dragonkin. The Dragonkin are split into mainly two groups, the dragonspawn and the draconid. Dragonspawn are the most common, and their exact origin is a very big secret guarded by the dragonflight, but we do know that they don't descend from the dragons, and instead they used to be a humanoid race that was accepted and took on the challenge to become a dragonspawn. The body they get is awarded by the dragonflight, and they also gained immunity to breath of the dragonflight they've served under. Their appearance is also out of the ordinary, as their lower bodies are much like that of a dragon, while they have humanoid torsos and dragon-like heads. Some dragonspawn also have wings, but that's usually the more powerful ones, and it doesn't really seem like they can use them to fly. The color of their skin and some minor differences are all related to the dragonflight they serve. Apart from just the dragonspawn, there are also the draconid, which have a very confusing origin, to say at least. At first they were thought to just be an experiment of Nefarian and a black dragonflight by mixing the blood of dragons and humanoids, but we can also see the draconid with almost all dragonflights, meaning that they're just another variant of the dragonspawn. The draconid are bipedal and larger than the dragonspawn, and in most cases they are used on the front lines in order to shatter enemy defense. As a society, the dragonspawn are very minimalistic, and they aren't much more than just a military unit serving the dragons. They have many ranks within their society, such as the Wyrmkin, the Flametongues and the Scalebanes, with the Scalebanes being the most elite faction. Advanced ranks usually lead the lesser ranks, and in order to advance within their hierarchy, a dragonspawn needs to prove his combat skills and also his magical skills. Even though to some they might seem like nothing more than just brute servants, they actually do have quite a unique way of waging war and utilizing tactics like no other creature on Azeroth. The most notable tactic is using dragon flames. What they do is they get into melee combat with their enemies, and once all of the enemies are in place and they're fighting them, a dragon comes in and completely obliterates the entire battlefield with flames, and since the dragonspawn are immune to it, they come out of it completely uninjured. War tactics also depend on the dragonflight, so for example the black dragonspawn uses brute force, while bronze or blue dragonspawn would utilize offensive magic combined with sheer strength. The process of becoming a dragonspawn is uncertain, but there is a theory that the original servants were called dragonsworn and that they are the forefathers of the dragonspawn. This hasn't been confirmed yet, as the dragonsworn are more of a class of dedicated mortals that could possibly assume the dragonspawn form, but they remain in their original form, while the dragonspawn and the draconid are constantly in their new or evolved form. The most well-known dragonsworn are the druids that serve the Azera and the Emerald Dream, but each dragonflight chooses their servants depending on their interest and the interest of the servant. So, the blue dragonflight would favor spellcasters, while the black dragonflight would look for someone with great physical or magical powers. The Night Elves as a race are the most common dragonsworn, as they were immortal and could still be possibly immortal, it is not certain at this point, which made them much better servants than the humans, for example, who can only live up to about 80 years of age. There are also other various races within their ranks, although some dragonfights are very specific on what they want. For example, the Red Dragon fight, they don't trust the orcs as they have captured the leader of the Red Dragon fight, Alexstrasza, during the Second War. The dragons started the entire ritual of accepting the so-called lesser races, or I guess the humanoid races, into their ranks long ago, although they did stop for quite some time, only to recently start it again in order to bolster their numbers, as there has been so many disasters within the past 10 or 15 years. Most of this information is from the RPG books, which are not considered canon, but usually are considered true until proven wrong, since there is also a theory that all these Dragonkin forms are just forms that regular dragons can assume, so just keep that in mind if there are any changes in the future. Alright, that is all I have for this video. Now do leave your suggestions for future lore videos, and also don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, as it really helps out the channel and keeps all these videos going. And thanks a lot for taking your time out of the day to watch this video, and see you next time.